Yo, what's going on, fellas? Greetings, everyone. It is me, Deadly Crypto, aka Deadly Crypto, and I'm here to talk to you about why Bitcoin is a Ponzi. You should have sold it. Did you see the thumbnail? It was clickbait. It was clickbait. I didn't sell my Bitcoin, guys. Don't worry. I'm still holding my Bitcoin. I hope you are too. Just trying to get some people to click on the video and hopefully watch it. Maybe learn a thing or two about Bitcoin. I think Johnny is my only guy in the house right now. What's up, Johnny? Thanks for being here, man. Wants us to take a look at XMR. No problem, Johnny. We can take a look at XMR. You know, first we got to talk about Bitcoin. Good old Bitcoin. I want to pull us out to the daily time frame. We're not going to waste any more time here. I hope this is live. I got this weird notification on my phone from YouTube. It said this is live on my channel now. Usually that happens after I post it. So we'll see if I fuck something up or if this is actually live or not. But anyway, I'm going to keep talking. So we're looking at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame. I'm actually going to take us over to Bittrex because it has a little bit more information. Sorry guys, I forgot to close everything out of here. Let me just turn all this stuff off. Okay. So here we're looking at, oh, I'm sorry, not Bittrex, Bitstamp. Here, this is the exchange Bitstamp, and I've chosen Bitstamp because it has a lot of information from Bitcoin. We can go back really, really far, all the way to 2011. Oh, actually, before I do any more charting, let me put myself in the corner this time. All right, so me in the corner, great deal. Cool. So what we're looking at here is we are seeing Bitcoin come over its previous all-time high from 2017. So we're going to talk about a couple different things here. Why this market structure is a little funky. We're going to try and identify a couple different patterns, talk about some moves that have played out, and how they could affect the situation we're currently in. We're going to try and take it step by step. We're really going to look at Bitcoin nice and deep today and understand where we are in the cycle. So the first thing I want us to understand is our times. We have to understand that from the 2021 bull run to the 2013 bull run, 2017 bull run, all of these were within a cycle, right? So if we look at the peaks and we measure the peaks from here to here, we're just going to take a quick measurement. I'm not going to get too precise on this. We're just going to show you roughly here to here from peak to peak, we have 1,479 days. And if we're looking at this peak, and we're projecting 1,479 days. 1,479 days would be about right here. 1,480. So we can see that from the previous cycle of 2013, that incredible high, to the incredible high of 2017 was 1,479 days. Here we're looking at 1,480 days. So that is where we were looking for the cycle to peak out. A little bit earlier, you know, nothing is exactly going to be how it has behaved in the past, but this is very close. So we can see then by the looks of it, this was the cycle top for Bitcoin in 2021. Falls in line with the rest of the previous price action history that we have here, forms a new peak, and we're looking to get into a new cycle. So if we look back into these cycles here, the first thing that happens in the first year after the peak, there is a downtrend to where price kind of bottoms out for some time. So we're just going to extend from the peak here and look at, we'll go ahead and stop at 1 year. So we can see 365 days after the all-time high, about 365 right there. So we're about minus 67%, and with a low of minus 85%. So in the first bull run, it's actually minus 86% drawdown to or from the swing high to the swing low, and that was over a year after price reached that all-time high. So if we're just going to look up now, price action definitely performed differently. We see this nice bull structure here into a new rally, and we see when we get into new all-time highs here, we have a little bit of similar structure. Right, so we're progressing 365 days from the all-time high. So we're just looking at 1 year. We do have a negative price input. So here we're down about 85%. We've already seen it all. by 1 year, and that is actually as low as price goes here in this cycle is about minus 83, minus 85%. So it's not far off from the 2013 cycle. We have a similar time range and a similar drawdown. So now if we go into where we are currently here, we can see that the drawdown, and this isn't the first time I've talked about this, guys, but this is where the eye opening starts, and then we're going to dig in a little bit into market structure and talk about a couple different plays, things like that. But this is just where it starts. So we're taking a deep look at Bitcoin here. Now from the previous all-time high, the most recent all-time high, if we project that 365 days, we're actually almost there. It's not too bad. About November of this year, we're going to be into a region where we can see an 85% drawdown. Sorry, I let go of that a little bit too early. So if we pull it down all the way to 85%, we're looking approximately 10K region. Now, what would be different about this cycle, getting an 85% drawdown versus last cycle's 85% drawdowns, is last cycle's all-time high never topped the previous all-time high, or the low never topped. Sorry guys, let me grab my words here. The low never surpassed or fell below the previous all-time high, right? So here's that 2013 high, here's the run up here, and here's the 2017 all-time high. Here's the low of 2018, the low after that all-time high, the swing low of the cycle. And it does not dip below that previous value, even though it does face an 85% drawdown. 83%, and that's not exactly from the high price. It could be more precise and get a fine percentage, but it's about approximately 80%, a little greater than 80% drawdown, and that is not below this point. But what happened here? Why is that the case now? Because price did not appreciate as greatly as it did in the previous cycles. In this cycle alone, if we look at, well, I'm not going to find the exact price point here. Let me just open this up. I can see from the 2017, 2021 bull run, 2017. Sorry, where was that? So there we go. Here is our total run up, 1,200 or 12,804%, 12,804%. And from our 2013 bull run, I'm coming over here. Our grand total here is 16,280%. Well, what happened? What happened in 2021? We didn't see that. What we did see was 2,109%. So you can see the percentage that Bitcoin expanded was far less than previous cycles, which is what led most of us to believe that the top was not in, even though it was close to the end of the time range. We thought there was going to be some paradigm. So we could see that it did not appreciate as much as it has in previous cycles. So that is what is throwing everyone off about it was previous 20K was the previous all-time high and it dipped below, is this the end for Bitcoin? No, it's not the end for Bitcoin. It's a weird phenomenon that 80% drawdown would be below 20K, but that's just the way it is. And we haven't reached that yet. So we're going to talk about a couple different market structures here now, breaking it down a little bit further, which also give us just a little bit of an idea of where we could be in the near future. Let me take a drink of this water real quick, guys. Hey, Jenny. What's up, bro? Jenny's here. Welcome, brother. If you're here, drop a comment and say what's up, where you from. Yeah, it's not even 200 months of information for Bitcoin there. All right, fellas. So that was interesting. Now we're going to take a look at here. I know a lot of us are traders. A lot of us are not traders. Many of us just want to know, is it the right time to buy Bitcoin for the long term? To answer that question simply, yes, it's always the right time to buy Bitcoin for the long term. It's going to appreciate in value as time passes, with each year, with every decade. So it's definitely a good idea to grab you some Bitcoin because it's going to be something really good for yourself when you're ready to retire and something really good that you can leave your children. So what I'm doing here is drawing a resistance line, guys, and this is going to be very basic resistance line. What that means is prices struggle to break above this line. So we can see here we actually only have a few points of touches. I don't know. This is arguable. If you want to look at a monthly time frame, that might only be one touch. It's arguable if this is going to be one or multiple touches. I'll say that this trend line gives us at least 3 touches. So in the future, when we butt up against it, that is where we're going to be looking at some pretty strong resistances. This is an active and strong resistance line. Now, I'm not going to fan this all the way up because we can do this over and over and over again on every single time frame. I'm just going to be looking at the larger market structure here. And what we can see is Bitcoin's kind of coming to a descending wedge, and it is broken to the downside of this wedge. So let me just get a picture for us of what a falling wedge is supposed to look like. Give me one sec, guys. I got it right here for us. All right, so we've got this chart pattern sheet here. And notably, we're going to be taking a look at this example right here. So when we are observing a falling wedge, this is going to be for a bullish outbreak, we're looking for these points to play inside. And of course, there's infrastructure in here. We're going to talk about that infrastructure in just a moment and measure how it's gotten to us to where we are. But if we just take a look at this here, we're waiting for it to break to the upside to make our move long term. So this is a resistance line that's going to have to be pierced before we can consider any real long-term bullish movements. And, you know, the bottom may be in here, and we might find very, very, very amazing buying opportunities between 8K to 12K if price of Bitcoin goes that low. I'm not saying I'm in favor of it or against it, but if it goes that low, we need to be prepared for it. As when price gets back into this resistance layer, at any point when it meets this, if it gets rejection, we're still going to be in bearish sentiment until we can get over this. This is going to be the first preparation of bearish sentiment. And then let me just show you what a little bit of projection would look like whenever it does finally break over here. It's not just going to immediately move. It's not going to come straight up and do that. It's going to come do something maybe like that. And then we're going to have all this little structure to play where we had this right here. So if we just take a look back and try to imagine this, right? So we're playing here, and this is our active resistance line, and price comes above it and breaks it. So we have to be careful now as we approach different levels of market structure, since we have other levels of market structure. As we see right here, we have some potential support. 30K was a large support wall that will likely play resistance in the future. So if we're just being honest here, since this was support, generally the role will flip whenever it is breached. So here we're going to be looking at some strong resistance after we get over this line, and then when this new high is created, we will have a new line to draw from and new resistance points. So we'll have to talk about that when we get there. Let's back all this up for a second, get some of this off. Okay, can't back it off. I'll just delete it real quick. I'm going to delete that one. All right, so we see the falling wedge here. We've seen the falling wedge. We've seen this support level here, and we know that 20K isn't holding. 14K is a next stop or a zone where we might play price action because of that wick. And there's a little bit of a stop down right here in this range, so we can extend this zone up just a bit to touch right here. We're playing this wick, and we'll be playing the tops of this. So once it breaks through that zone, it'll enter into sub 85% territory, and that's where things get a little bit scary. So let me cover this up for a second, guys, and now we're going to talk about how we got here, because I made this observation quite a while ago, and I think I made it on this channel in one of my live streams. But here we're looking at, I'm going to come back over to Bybit, I think is where I have that one. So we're looking at this bear flag here, and we're going to talk about how to measure the bear flag. I've got this chart structure up here. Let me find my bear flag now. Okay, so we had this ginormous bear flag playing out here, and we can see by this structure it creates a upside down flag. And it's bearish because it came from the top side, played this channel, and is breaking to the downside, right? It's bearish because it entered from this channel. So we measure our X and Y values, and I was surprised at how well this played out. I think I may have posted this snapshot on my Twitter like May 16th if you want to go look at it before this happened. This is fucking real. We measured the X and Y values. So X is the amount of time that it takes for this to play out, and Y is the distance that it actually covered to play out. So it's from the swing high into the entry point. So from point 1 to point 2, we measured that. We take a Y and an X. So we measure down and across, and we're going to see that this took 75 days minus 52%. So we're just going to project that on the outside of the bear channel break. And we don't know when the break occurs. But once it does, if it were to occur here, we would have set up these tools and measurements, and projected them right here to get our values. It broke here, so that's where we set up our observation for our, our component y and x values. So we have 3 and 4. There's the break, and a hefty stop loss would be on the way up here. You definitely could have put some stop losses at multiple places here. But look how finely that touched. So it looks like this bear flag has just about reached the end of its cycle, or its projection, should I say. We do have a little bit of time that price could still be negatively affected by this bear flag here. So now let me cover those up, and we'll show you just another one right here, right in front of our eyes. So I've got these little deals here, and we can see that wasn't the only one, right? There's our bear flag without the measurements. And you can see you take this tool here, and you'll hover your candle over, or hover your cursor over the candle to get this value right here. So we can see our open, high, low, close. We're going to see what the high was to be very, very technical. And we'll get our measurement tool, try to point it from the high value and measure to the bottom of the entry, right? And we can identify the structure once we have these 2 points. Once we have these 2 points right here. Because now we have 2 points to project from the bottom and 2 points to project from the top. So we can honestly play this range until it's broken. And right now at this point is where we could set up and start measuring and say, hey, you know what? Here is this and this. I have this set up. So when this breaks, I'm going to track that measurement and track that fall down. So outside of the big one that we were looking at, we could see that there have been some smaller bear flags because that is intrastructure and the structure develops. So based off of these structures, we have to keep playing downwards. If it's going to follow the pattern that's given to us, we have to keep going downwards. So we can see that the time frames match up from exit to exit. Here we have 8 days. The percentage was a little bit greater. You can't see because the arrow was in the way there. The percentage is a little bit greater, but here we have the date, the X values lining up. So the X values, which is the dates, they match. The Y values were, it fulfilled that projection. So here we do have 28%. And if we're looking at 28% to the downside, that was filled. It just overextended, still stayed within that date range. And now we have 2 points. Look at where we are again. We have 2 points to measure from now on the top and 2 points to measure from in the bottom. So we just took that measurement and we're going to set up our projection now. So it's 39.79%. So we're going to look at the span of 8 days whenever it breaks, 37.79%. If it breaks from here, we'll just go ahead because price is pretty close. So we're just going to see 37%, go 38%, make it easy, and 8 days. So if it were to break from here, and I'm not saying we're in an imminent sense of danger right now, I'm just saying this is what's ahead of us. We're playing this structure until it's broken. If it breaks to the upside, that's all fine and dandy. You know, we're going to look to use this for support. The rules of support and resistance aren't going to change. We're going to look to use this for support here. If price breaks above, then we'll play this horizontal level as resistance, maybe find support here until it breaks above. But this is the structure we're looking at developing, so we have to pay attention to it. And we have to be cautious of what's going to happen, and we have our measurements set up. And notably, if we follow this last bear pattern here, fuck, I hope it's the last bear pattern, honestly. If we follow this last bear pattern here and we get to that 38%, it's going to put us at the 11K range, which would be approximately 77% overall drawdown. So we still could see a little bit lower, but that seems likely to play out and fulfill all our previous cycles. So those bear flags are what's keeping us moving down, and traders are seeing these bear flags and preparing their entries for them. So it looks like we could see some downside for Bitcoin. If we are to see any upside rallies, of course, it's probably going to stay within this range right here. So we could see this is highlighted about 23.5K. If it breaks over here, does something of this nature, which I don't know, it might poke out and drop back in. But if it does seem to find support above this range, then we'll look to play here as the next area of resistance for the month of July. But what more than likely I think will occur is a break at some point below here. I don't know if it'll be now or if we come up and bounce down and break at this point, do something around that nature. I think more than likely we're going to explore negative territory for as far as price action development in the next month. There might be some upward relief rallies, but don't get too excited and don't get overextended in your longs. So now we'll take any questions about Bitcoin. And Johnny was here first. He suggested XMR. If you guys have any other altcoin suggestions you want me to take a look at, you probably already do have left some in the comments. Leave them right now, and we will check out your altcoins, guys. I'll take a look at them. If I've never looked at it before, I'll chart it right in front of you so you can see the process. But I'm going to check the comments right now. We'll see what's up. Let me take this water real quick. Shoosh. All right, let's see what we got. All right, let's see. Jenny says, fat cake dinner done and dusted. Nice. Scubbled that all up, didn't you? That project flag was, oh yeah, it was Boss TA 101, man. Thanks, bro. We were watching that for a while. I was scared of it the whole time. Wish I would have had some more balls to put more money down on it, but we definitely made some money on it. Johnny says it's going down further, ain't it? Yeah, Johnny, I'm sorry, man. I hate to break it to you. Looks like it might just get better. It might just get worse before it gets better. But don't worry, if price goes down, it's nothing to be afraid of. I promise you, Bitcoin is not a Ponzi. It might seem like a Ponzi. That's just the way any market works, really. But Bitcoin is a free market. It allows us to trade without government intervention. So Bitcoin, it's there, man. The fundamentals are there, not just for that reason. There's so many reasons Bitcoin is great for us, but I'm not going to try and divulge into each and every single reason, especially if it's not a technical reason. We'll take a look at XMR for you now, bro. If anyone else here has any altcoin suggestions, that's going to keep the stream alive, guys. When we run out of altcoins to analyze, that is when the stream is going to end. So if you want to hear me talk, if you want to see me bump my gums, drop some altcoin suggestions. Let's take a look at XMR. I think I might have that on my watch list. Sorry to disappoint you. It's not on my watch list. It's alright. It's alright. Let's take a look at it. Finance. That's the daily time frame. Alright. Cool, man. Cool. So I know a little bit about XMR. I don't know too much. I know it's supposed to be secure means of transferring value over space and time. I don't know exactly how it encrypts your data better than blockchain technology or what extra steps are taken. But, you know, it seems like it has been a good use of currency on the internet for a while. As far as competition with Bitcoin, I'm not sure. I'm looking at the price action right now just to get a feel of it. It looks like there was some parabolic activity here with a steep sell-off following. And that was 2021. Is this really all the price action on Binance? Let me see. It's probably going to be most populated on Binance. I guess I can check KuCoin and see if it goes back further. Definitely does not go back further. Trying to find an exchange that has a lot of price action for this. Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like Binance is gonna be the one. I know it's been around longer than. Fuck. I think we have more price action. Yeah. Well, we had more price action. Okay, we'll chart here on Huobi. Still not as much price action as I'd like to see, but I mean, obviously we've got this huge fucking parabolic run up here, so that's going to be an all-time high. Here we'll start with the low. Ray. See my low value. 25.15. Place that. Make sure the coordinates 25. Man, that was close. And we'll make that purple. Alright. Let me see what we got here. 51930. 930. So this is going to be our all-time high. All-time high. Okay. So notably here, you know, this doesn't look like it's suffered as much as Bitcoin. It's probably have a large percentage of drawdown. Yeah, about 80%. The structure looks pretty good though, as far as maintaining itself. It's not as volatile or as floppity and all over the place as Bitcoin has been lately. Bitcoin has just been on, and Bitcoin been smoking that shit. Okay, so here we see we do have a little bit of similar structure. So price is trapped right here, right now. And you can expect a reaction whenever we get to one of these points. Can I extend that back there? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now we're going to check out some horizontal values. So I don't want to pollute. I'll use trend lines. Never mind. Okay, this looks like a zone rather. We're playing here and here. So now this is going to be a resistance zone because it's on top of current price action. If it were below current price action, that would be a support zone. But this is a resistance zone because it's on top of current price action. So now here I'm checking these run-up points. So all these points are important here from the previous run-up because this is where it met resistance while it was running up. So we've checked out that layer. Now I'm going to check to see where these highs and lows correlate to over here, if they tangle up with any of this price action, and see what is valid and what's not. Also, too, at this point, I would like to have previous price action to see if any of these points was a point of resistance in the past. But it looks like, for whatever fucking reason, this is not existing here. So the asset must have only been listed in 2018. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead. We don't have the information. So we can see that pretty much outside of this range, I'm looking right here at this low value now, and I can see it touches right here in a wick, but it's not really too fine. There's a little catch right here. I'll zoom in a little bit so we have a better idea of what we're looking at now. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a catch right here. I don't know if I would exactly call this a zone because this point blew completely fucking through it. If it would have got resistance right here, I would have tried to use it a little bit. Here I'll look at this point though, and this was pretty nice. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 touches there. So even before that wick, but I'll come up and see if I can find any better touches. Now it looks like right here there was some kind of run up to get right here, and then this was a resistance zone. I could possibly use that information because here it looks like it flipped for potential support. So we'll just draw it. Make sure I captured that wick at least. And I'll use that wick and this wick right here because it looked like that wick got into the zone. And I'm gonna skip that wick and I'll just use that point right there because that was the lowest retest. So we'll use that for the zone. I'll make this a support zone now. Right. And we'll pull that over. So cool. We're getting a little bit of a picture here. All right. Actually, we see we're in that support zone. Hey, the magic of charting. Okay, cool. So we are in that support zone. If we break below that support zone, we still have this larger structure to play. This is the largest market structure that I can observe. We can break this down into further infrastructure. And since I don't see any other altcoins, yo, what's up, Caesar, Ronald, what's up, guys? Welcome. If you guys have altcoin suggestions, please leave them so we can analyze them. But since I don't see any other altcoins, we can continue to tear this one up. So we've identified this support zone now, which could be used as support as it was used as resistance once in the past, and a quick support touch there. Actually had a touch on the top of the support zone right there. So now I'm looking at this price action. I'm seeing how I can classify this. If there's any solid levels where price bounced off something repeatedly, it looks like I have a sub-support level here. Oh, wrong hotkey. Based off this information, it looks like I have a sub-support level. We have 1, 2, 3. We can probably make that a zone, but it'd be a tighter zone. As this isn't a perfect whip. We left out that right there. And if we're considering that information, it could be another layer. But I'm not going to chop it up too hard horizontally. It looks like these are sufficient layers for a larger term. When we get into smaller picture, like I said, I'll drop into the 4-hour and we'll recreate this process a little bit here so we can see where more of the immediate price action is. Now I can see, rating on it. So even that's 2022 already. Yeah, so this was where the year started. I would say, man, if we break out of this wedge, and remember, this wedge, look, this is a large falling wedge, but it's a descending wedge because both lines are sloping down. Now, I would be careful of a downside break. If it does break to the downside, then maybe we could see something down to 25.15. If there's going to be another intermediary stop, it's probably going to be somewhere in this zone. So we can make this an intrazone. Okay. I'll make this an intra-zone based off this value right here and a small butt up right here. This. And this is an intra-zone. We're not going to be too heavily dependent upon it. We just know that there is possible conflict within this area, as we have seen support and a little bit of consolidation in that range. So if it breaks down from here, check for this area and check for that area. I don't just want to say hang loose all the way to the end. And if we do find support along here, we can find some bullish divergence. Yup, that would be fucking great. So it looks like turning on the RSI really quickly. Looks like we can see here that there is no divergence, but the low here has created a higher low and it's abiding by on the RSI. This can be indicative, since we are creating a higher low here in price action and a higher low on the RSI, that price may come to create a higher high. So the next course of action, if you're looking for some type of position in Monero, Johnny, I don't know what you got going on with Monero, but your immediate course of action is we're looking to break over this swing high right here. Looks like we've already got some strong rejection, but that's going to be the next step in creating or in continuing an uptrend from this point, is creating a new high. Here we have created a higher low from here, but if we look at the corresponding low value here, this is a series of lower lows. So this is actually an active downtrend, and we need to wait for this downtrend to pierce some of these levels in order to consider it broken. And that's when we're going to start targeting that new high. So immediate range of action or price actions upwards of 133, and then downwards below here of this swing low and this line that we have created from market structures, about $95. So that's where you're looking if you break out of this range, but you are playing this support range right now. And what's the spread on that range? Is 12%. That's a good range right there. You can get some work done with that. Get a lot of work done with that. So let me grab another drink of water, guys, because I'm a motor mouth and I run on water, H2O. So I'm going to drink some more ice cold water, guys. And if y'all have any altcoin suggestions, I'll take a look at the comments in just a moment, see what you guys have said to me. If you have another altcoin, drop it in the comments so we can take a look at it. My people, my people. My people, my people. Alright, guys, let me see. Yeah, we had Ronald here. Lost 20 minutes because of freaking load shedding, dog. That sucks, bro. But what's up? I chunked you some deuce earlier, but I actually read your comment now. I just saw your name earlier. My boy Caesar's in the house. Caesar. Israel says, can you look at LTC? I'm thinking it breaks 50 down to 47-ish. Thanks. Sure can, brother Israel. We'll take a look at LTC as soon as I get done with these comments here. And guys, after I take a look at LTC, I'm going to need something to do. So you got to drop another altcoin or we're going to have to get off the stream. So if you guys want to keep seeing my pretty face, then I'm going to need some more altcoin suggestions. We got Litecoin on the list, and I'm keep seeing these comments real quick. It looks like I'm almost done. Jenny says, yep, load shedding crap in ZA. Why are my hands up, bro? That's bad. I'm sorry about load shedding. It's so bad. It's so bad, but at least you got a generator and you're prepared. Johnny told me anyway. Good job, Johnny. Great. Johnny says, thanks, buddy. XMR has been out since 2014. Rumors that XMR was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto. Hey, man, who the hell is even Satoshi Nakamoto? We don't even know who that guy is. How are we going to pin him down to XMR, too? I'm not going to speak on that, man. I'm not informed enough to carry on a conversation about it, but I will say that I've heard of XMR. It has been used as a currency for quite a while, and it's not something I'm going to invest heavily in, but I get it. People want privacy, so keep your eye on it, and that's what we're looking at. I'll go ahead and pull up Litecoin now. Let me get rid of my other indicators real quick, and we'll go to LTC, Litecoin. Litecoin. Alright, so first things first, you'll notice here I have an alert. We almost hit that too. We almost triggered there. I wanted to buy some at 38.28. I missed a pretty good buy opportunity. Longing in a downtrend, yes, I know, but look at that. That would have been handsome. It was handsome. Someone got paid on that. Yeah, we got this alert set up here for 38.28, so we can set some buy orders. I think I've got Litecoin pretty well documented. Let me see over here. I can just go to my larger picture. Oh fuck. How active is this? Go to my daily real quick. All right, yeah, cool. So we see uh, relative to where Bitcoin is against its downtrend line, its most active downtrend line, Litecoin's pretty far away from getting that touch, and we can see it's nice and wedged up here within this area. This floor has served Litecoin well since 2018. We didn't really get there in March 2020. There was a really steep pullback and almost touched it. Didn't really get there. So this floor has done really well, and at least maintaining, what is this? 2232. I don't know why it's not highlighting on the other side. Oh, because it's not a line. 2232. So we've done pretty good at staying away from that, or at least establish it as a floor. If price re-enters that area, if price breaks below where I have this dotted line, because I really wanted to grab I wanted to buy in on a liquidity dip, but that line serves us right there as a danger zone for Litecoin. Litecoin being back in that price action, and I know we're looking at Bitcoin and we're like, oh, well, Bitcoin's right back at, 2017 all-time high. Bitcoin is a totally different asset than Litecoin. Oh, but Daily Crypto, Litecoin is literally just copy-paste times 4 of Bitcoin. Yes, it is. But Charlie Lee royally fucked Litecoin, for one, not hiding his name. It's hard to have a truly decentralized project, but the Litecoin project is not decentralized. And for two, the dude sold a bunch off in 2017 to take profits in USD. So, I mean, I don't know what that might say about I've been a carrier of Litecoin for a long time. I think most of that is because I got into it pretty early, pretty cheap. But now we're coming back to those pretty early, pretty cheap prices. I don't really see much more reason for me to be involved in this. I've been phasing my Litecoin into Bitcoin for quite some time now. And even, Charlie Lee, the guy who created this crap, he says, I'm not going to say Litecoin's crap, but he said, or what he did, his action spoke louder than his words. He converted, he had a bunch of Litecoin because he created the coin, and he sold it off in 2017 for fiat. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you get rid of your crypto for fiat if it's better than fiat? So that speaks volumes. Now people don't know about that. People don't talk about that, but I think that's a big reason why Litecoin hasn't lived up to its potential. The code is written, like I said, copy paste, just like Bitcoin. It's actually more efficient than Bitcoin, but it is probably doomed for failure in the long run. I don't think it's ever going to grow, and that disappoints me too. And this is just my opinion. I can't see the future. I had high hopes for Litecoin, but anyway, we're looking at where we are here. We're obviously within this range. I can break it down a little bit further, and we'll take a look at some recent structure here. So we can see whenever I turn on the recent structure, we're looking at this, again, one of those falling wedge patterns. So I've got this here. So, oh, accidentally went to the next picture. Zoom in. All right, so we see this here. Ah, it was the perfect size. Ah! Sorry, guys. Having a meltdown. Come on, please. All right, there we go. Falling wedge. So here we can see the falling wedge, and I've got some sub-levels inside of Litecoin. I actually trade Litecoin a lot. Like I said, I'm trying to shift a lot of my position around, and I traded whenever I can't find an opportunity in Bitcoin, I look at Litecoin. So here we see this falling down, and what we can expect from our little document here, from our little cheat sheet, is when price breaks over this line to check for a retest on the outbreak and upwards acceleration. So here on this zone, here we're actually playing resistance zone now. We have used that as support, broke down, and this was support. So now we're in a resistance zone, playing this wedge to the downside. Whenever we break out, we need to look for this resistance zone, and if price trends into this direction, we get a little bit of this hoo-ha, price comes down here, then we're going to need to play this area, because this is going to be resistance 1. So breakout here, potential breakout, and retest, and then upwards. Now we're running into this area of resistance. So this is resistance before we get to here. But right now, this is the only resistance that we have created, and oops, get back over here. Technically, this would be a support level. So we'll just come right over here and we'll put this bad boy in blue because that is our swing low and our support level. So here's our immediate range that we're playing, and this is the daily time frame too. So this is still, I mean, this is a lot of development here. That's 31% range. We've got a lot of range here, and this could take some time to play out. Just because we see this don't mean it's going to happen, but this is some really clean market structure here we're looking at. And whenever we break outside, those are your upwards targets. As long as we live inside of this wedge, those are your parameters to play by. And again, you know, if I pull this into, just for a quick example, I'm just going to go to 5-minute time frame. We do have some infrastructure. You know, we have these, there was another little wedge structure. There was a little channel right here. So here's a little bear flag, right? A little baby bear flag. And this is where we get our trading opportunities. So, you know, I can break down into the 1 second time frame now. Now I can. I've got the 1 second time frame on Bitcoin open right over here. This is where our stream started and I quit watching it. So here's our 1 second time frame, and we can find market structure literally on every single time frame. Here we just follow it out, play, you know, short term support and resistance floors. Looks like that could be better off classified as a zone. Right here, this could be a little zone, and you see it shot through. And you can break this up all kinds of which ways, right? We have market structure on every time frame. So don't think that it stops at the 4 hour or it stops at the daily just because that's where I stopped. Because I can, like I said, I can go into the literal second and give you market structure. We can make all kinds of shapes and dilly dallies we want to. But the general gist and idea is to play those smaller market structures into the larger ones. So you can scalp. If we're looking at this idea and we think, hey, you know what, price is going back, Litecoin's going back to this swing low, we can scalp all the way down to the swing low. When it gets there, change our position to long scalp all the way back up while we're waiting for this to break, or even if we think it's coming right here. If we're waiting for an entry for a long right here, because this is going to give us, this is an aggressive entry for the breakout, is it's going to give us the best entry at the breakout. Because if we're waiting to get in here, you know, we just missed all this price action. That was a huge run up we could have been involved on. So whenever you are intra trading, you have to establish those zones, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to long here to here, so I can have that in the background progressing, making me money. All the while, I believe in this long position, I'm taking long scalps. You can take short scalps or whatever, right? You can, here, even in this channel, whatever, you could have played that. Took your little long scalps, you could short against your idea. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to present to you how you can see it there. And if you have a long swing, then you should try and trade with your idea. Take long scalps on the inside till it breaks out, even when it breaks out. So that's how you play within those zones, intra zones there. And I've made a video before about simple market analysis just by using trend lines. So that video will help you a lot. Be able to do this yourself. Yeah, I don't know who asked about Litecoin, but I hope that was sufficient for you, Israel. All right. Let me take a look at these comments here. So, Israel says, oh, yeah, that's the new one. Israel says, can you look at Sol? I think it ranges between 38 and 31 before it decides to dump further. Thanks. No problem, Israel. We'll take a look at Sol, like I said. I'll be here till you guys stop making suggestions, or until my girl gets home, whichever comes first. I think I have that on my watch list. Let me see. Alright, yeah. I'm not as organized with Sol as I am with Litecoin. But yeah, we got some stuff here. Let me see. Alright, so you can see I kind of stopped trading Sol a little bit back over here. Here's on my little trade chicken scratch. So there we go. I think that was I'm not sure where I got that value, if that was previous all-time high or not. Let me just pull back to the daily real quick. Try and see what I got going on here. I'm going to hide some of this stuff. Oops. Oh, my goodness. Alright. Let's do it like an old man. Yeah, I'm going to hide some of the stuff so I can get a fresh look. I'm going to keep some of the, I'm going to keep those purple lines. Definitely interested in. Okay, guys, cleaning up this old mess here. Gotta get rid of some of this garbage. Don't just want to exit it all out. Sorry, this one wasn't as tidy as Litecoin. Okay, where is this one? That's what I'm trying to get now. Okay, there we go. All right, that'll work. I can live with the rest of this here. Actually, let me get rid of this. I'm just gonna delete that. That looks like that. Son of a gun. Okay, this looks all right. I can work with this. So yeah, that looks still valid actually. Now that's going to be a resistance point in front of us. I guess at the time I was using purple coding for these, so they were support. These were possible support points, it would seem, because they were purple to my coding. And usually I use orange for previous all-time highs. So I think that was a previous all-time high. Looks like we're getting close over there. And again, you know, we have this obvious downtrending structure here. We're going to, there will come a time, guys, where we're looking at charts and they don't all fucking look like this. You know, this line we're connecting is up because everything, we're looking at one of these charts. Unfortunately, that's not today. We have strong downtrends in almost every asset, and they're all valid. They're all valid. We have these little uptrend bursts, as we can see. Sol did, I think it was 100%, yeah, 70%. And was like, oh, sold to the moon, sold to the moon. The moon's over here, guys. This is the moon. This is the moon over here, and this is where we are. So don't let these little pumps fool you into thinking we're back into a bull run. If we're going to consider a bull run, we're going to need to break this market structure first. This is from these two wicks. If I skip that one, I can get into here, which, you know, really is going to give us another downtrend. Someone's playing this as well. So we're going to have to break these resistance lines before we can consider any long-term bullish momentum on Solana. And just by using, you know, these simple lines like this, we lay them over and people think, okay, well, you know, it's just a resistance line. How am I supposed to use that? You know, it projects the time for you. Here we can see price could use rejection anywhere along this lines up until September and November. Now, just because we get over this line doesn't mean, like I said, we're immediately going to moon. We have some of these other areas to play, but that is step one. That is step one. So we can see this does not last forever. That is step one. Here's some really nice intrazones. I think I would like to use this as an intrazone too. I'll just go ahead and put this as a resistance zone here because I want to use that wick. That wick is just hanging down there, but I do like that line. So I'll extend this over here, and we'll make this a resistance zone. I might grab that pink line and get it out of there. Perfect. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Right. So, yeah, that looks like a good zone there. We can make a couple more up here. I don't want to try and make 100,000, but we'll use that wick and these wicks. So, there we go. So here's some resistance zones, and then obviously if we peek over into all time, let me get one on there. Let me find that value before I click that. So we have a high of 259.90. Whoa, didn't mean that. 259.90. I was one off. Okay, so that was previous all-time high. So there we go. That's a really nice, really nice horizontal support and resistance for this, as well as dynamic support and resistance. Again, looks like if we're connecting these bottoms, seeing that wedge structure. Very common theme, you know, we do have Bitcoin. Most of the altcoins follow Bitcoins. There's definitely some that are not correlative, and the correlation isn't 100%, but they're strikingly similar most of the time. So that is what we're looking right at there. And just a quick glance at 4H time frame for our immediate future. Looks like we are creating a series of higher highs. So this is what you're looking for, a break on this to discount your long ideas if you're trying to counter trend trade. It'll be setting up in there. And here, this was an active resistance line, as we can see, has recently been broken. And we can see that's recently been broken here. So I'll just connect another one over the top. Remember, guys, so this is kind of what I was telling you about. Imagine on the larger scale, when we finally break that trend line, there's the outbreak retest. It could push up on us and immediately flop back. So don't think because we break over that we're going bullish. That's step one to get bullish, because then we're going to be in this structure. As we can see now, we've created a sector for us, a little zone. If price breaks out below here, then it's likely going to catch here or here. And if it breaks on to the top, you know, here we have upside continuation. Touches are possible here. If at any point this sub-support line, this is a sub-support line right here within a larger market structure. If at any point this is broken, your long idea should be invalidated and you should start looking for shorts back down to one of these other intersecting lines. But this is the immediate area of conflict that you're looking at. Israel, I think you were asking. So you could see, you know, 21% upside out to July 15th, and shoot. With the way the market is, I wouldn't now rule a 40% downside move to 1907. But you'll check for a stop here along this resistance line once this is broken. So that's pretty good insight on Solana there. Take a look at the comments. That was great analysis. Thanks, bro. You're so welcome, Israel. You're fucking welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare anyone. Johnny says, been using your visual assistance indicator. Man, I got that one on right here, I think. Yeah, there we go. So here we can see a couple more immediate. That one we painted, look, the indicator caught it as well. And we've got this one right here too. I wonder if the indicator caught that one. No, the indicator did not catch that one. Okay, it's got these values. But to finish your comment, it says, I use it to check what I've drawn in myself. That's very nice. Also using it for TP stop loss. Excellent. Haven't got into changing parameters yet. Very handy for beginners like myself. Johnny, that's fucking great, man. I'm so happy it helps you. Yeah, that's what it was designed for, bro. I'm glad, man. Yeah, draw your lines first, turn it on, and check them, like, you know, the same way. We see that we got a couple of the same lines here, and that's a great way to check to see if yours are going well, man. And even too, if you didn't draw it, like for this one, for example, see how I didn't draw that line? Because remember, they change automatically as time develops, as price action develops, to update you with the latest trends. So you can draw over it yourself, and when a new trend develops, that one might go away. Then you can see that line there for yourself without the indicator, or if a new one is plotted, you'll still know that that was a resistance point. Because sometimes I've seen the supports change out from beneath me to a new support, and I still wanted to use that larger support line. So that's just a tip for you, brother, since you are using this indicator. Alright guys, I'm going to take a bathroom break, and I'll let you decide if you want to analyze any more altcoins. It'll be a quick bathroom break. I'm just going to go take a wee. Think about the altcoins you want me to analyze. If I come back and there's no new altcoin suggestions in the comments, we're going to wrap it up, guys. So I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. Hey, what's up, my fellas? What's up, my fellas? I'm back. I'm back from the bathroom. I'm gonna take a sip of water now. Parched. Gotta stay hydrated, guys. It's so easy for me to sit at the desk all day and forget to drink water, you know, because I'm not expending any energy. So it's easy to become dehydrated. So I just gotta make sure I drink water. I like to try and drink about, 4 bottles in a work day. Whenever I'm talking, my mouth gets dry. So Drink a lot of water, guys. It's good for you. Let me see what kind of new comments we got here. So Johnny says, "Trippy tune, nice. It came on real loud. Fuck, sorry it blasted you. That was the first time I've actually used it on live stream. It sounded good in headphones, and I also put it on my speaker system here at max volume. It sounded all right. I thought didn't mean to scare you. I'll check this recording and see how fucking loud it was." Thanks for being there. Johnny says AVAX. All right. Yeah, give me some more work, brother. Take a look at AVAX. Let me see that last question. Oh, Jenny. Remember to smash the like button for Edward, guys. Yeah, I definitely hate to be that influencer who's like, smash the fucking like button, bro, or I'm not going to talk to you no more. But, you know, likes help. I'd really appreciate it if you like. If you want to share it with your friend, tell your buddy, hey, you know, my dude Deadly Crypto, if you got an altcoin, he'll analyze it for you, you know? Next week, we're having questions and answers. Ask me anything. You can ask me anything you want about crypto. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Let's go. AVAX. Let's go take a look at AVAX USDT. I'm going to check Binance. See if it has the most. Ooh, is that a trade? Nice. When was that? Last year? No? Oh, yeah, that was last month. Nice. All right. Good show. Let me see here. Okay. Looks like I was trading at AVAX really recently. There's some more trade scratch there. That's what my chicken scratch looks like. Man, this is going to be a tough one, dude. It's going to be a tough one because I already have a bunch of junk on here. But we'll go out to the daily time frame and see what of this shit I can get rid of. All right. Pull up my object tree now. Bear with me, guys, as I clean up this chicken scratch a little bit. Now, I know you see my other chart, my Bitcoin chart's like really clean. You know, some of my other charts too, Litecoin Link, they're pretty clean because I look at them, you know, very often. Some of these other charts, I have not taken care of them the way I should have. They're a little overgrown. I gotta go do some weed whacking. But, you know, I don't want to just delete all this stuff. I do like to keep my trade scratch. Fuck. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna highlight everything. We'll just start over. How about that? Go. Let me just group everything real quick. I'll just leave it group 1. All right, let's go. Not deleting anything. We'll just start brand new. Okay. So we're looking at AVAX. We see a nice little floor over here. I'm gonna come over here and explore that floor so we can see. Now, one thing that's actually pretty neat here, we can see AVAX's floor is seemingly rising, even if it is a gradual slope. This isn't descending, and it's not stagnant. So I like that AVAX is seeing ultimately some type of long-term growth, even if it is extremely volatile and back and forth. I'm just glad to see somebody competing with Ethereum surviving. So I'm going to zoom in over here. And we'll try and find this low point. Now, it looks like this was actually a really fucking successful launch on Binance. Most of the time we see these comes up and they go, hey, and then they go really far down. This one did good. Probably because it's actually backed by something. What? I don't know. I didn't read the white paper. All right. So here I'm going to check these low points real quickly. That's 2.75. It's 2.78. So this looks like the lowest low. And I'll set that at 2.75. And we'll make that blue. That's our little floor there. I could use this value, but that seems like it was, yeah, that was launch listing. I could throw it up at 83 cents. I mean, I suppose. Why didn't I grab that? Alright, I don't know why I pasted over there. And this is 88, 83. Alright, so that was when it was born. Born at 83 cents on Binance, it would seem. And then we're going to come check our all-time high really quickly, and we have 60.30. Oh, hell no. All right. And, you know, this one's got to be, what color is the all-time high? Orange. For me, anyway. You're more than welcome to color code your shit however you want to. I have a nice coding system going for me. Or color system, should I say. Alright, so here was, we gotta explore this run up now. This run up is important. I use this information to target Bitcoin at 24K, 26K for a short, and it crashed through there, but it did go through the range that was specified. So let me see if we can make some type of little zone out of here, and we'll see how it plays later. And is that above or below right now? I think that's above. Oh, okay, yeah, it's below. So quick support zone. And there we go. Nice. So I will extend this down just a bit to catch those wicks. It's gonna be a extensive ass zone. Maybe I could tighten it up somehow. That looks good. I'll try to touch that wick, but I don't want to leave that wick out completely. So yeah, I'll just back that up actually. Fuck it. That looks good. That's pretty large. 40% zone. Try to avoid zones having zones that big. You know, we could probably make this 2 zones. Let's do it that way instead. We'll use this as 1. On that shit and put that right there. That looks better to me. Let me raise this up to where it catches that wick. Okay, so that looks better to me. I'll play that zone. And now we're leaving that run up. We're coming to look right here. This is a little stagnant, not perfectly sideways. Here was a little bit of a check at that zone. So you know what? I'll clone this one more time. We have a little choppy zones right here. Okay. Doesn't look like there's much fine price activity here. You know, where I would like to see a price point touch very finely. Use that for, where did that come from? Oh, that's not all-time high. I didn't see that whenever I claimed that as all-time high. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, so here we got high of 147. Alright, there we go. Now that looks a little bit better. Really, I should have let that there. I'll just use a trend line for this. Yeah, see here we're gonna need a solid zone. That's gonna be a fat zone, but that it is what it is. It's a big zone. Resistance zone. Here was a nice point of resistance, but I don't see much activity alongside of it outside of here. Potential for resistance. Potentially. And then nothing else is clean up here either. I mean, this could all even be considered a zone. But I guess we could drop them these 2 swing highs and say we'll use them as resistance. So I'll just put that right there. I don't particularly care what the value. Why did it? I thought that was a ray, and it started sloping. All right, so there we go. Get all these out here. Sight. All right. My girlfriend just texted me, and I'm not gonna be able to text her back, so she's gonna join the stream, and I'm gonna say hello. Hi, baby. Alright, so here we have a descending dynamic resistance line. Try to touch those points right there. And if I point down right, then we can see we're a long ways from dynamic resistance on here. I don't know how promising it is to see AVAX to new all-time highs. I mean, we've seen it create impressive all-time highs, and if that trend continues, you know, you could, if this trend continues, it could be really profitable for the guy who buys in now. But I guess it depends on a couple things like the success of this blockchain or the adoption of this blockchain. I wouldn't say it has to be the only one or the most successful one, but it definitely has to become adopted. I'm going to put another zone in here. I feel like I missed a zone. I'm just going to play this real quick. It's not perfect either, but you know, it's possibly a resistance zone. So I'll just include that there, and there we go. So we can see now here, this one is actually worth doubling up on. I don't want to try and chop it all up onion or something, but that is notably, and it's been broken. Look at that. So if this can continue to, price can stay above or on the other side of this line, then we're looking at staying in this region. If it breaks below, well, fuck. I mean, we're probably going to crash into zero at that point. That was a steep ass downtrend line that had been broken. So here are the zones you're looking to play, and there isn't that fine wedge that we've seen in a lot of other cryptos. I mean, if I project from these values, it's not really a wedge or a channel. I can try to cut through here, see what this looks like. That almost makes sense. Almost makes sense, but I feel like that's really trying to force something that's not there. So it doesn't look like this one is showing some of that market structure that we had out of the other cryptocurrencies. So that's interesting. Here we might be able to see a type of falling wedge, but again, I'll drop into the 4 hours here, and looks like yeah, it looks like we're coming on to the other side of that one too. So it looks like this falling wedge is it's at a different point in its cycle. So we're at the retest on this falling wedge. It's already broken out, so we've got past 4, here's 5, breakout, retest. So shit, man, I'm gonna set up a mock trade here, just cause. Fuck. Playing 17% stop loss is a little. See, and that's why I remember earlier when we were talking about getting the best entry over here, because look how exposed my. If you've been here for the whole stream, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. If you weren't, skip back to when I was talking about this part here, because now you see how much more at risk you are. It seems like it's safer to wait for the retest, which in some cases it can be, but here look how much more exposed I am whenever I'm trying to take a stop loss based upon a swing low. I could tighten this up and play the immediate swing low. That's almost asking to get stopped out because we know price has explored this range within this structure. So remember, the best entries are going to be somewhere along this line. We're going to try and find somewhere that we're comfortable entering with. Talk about this in a different video. And we're going to try to find our entry for longs. That way we can have our stop loss much tighter. See how much tighter that is going to be now because we're playing this market structure. They're playing the trend line from the market structure and the swing lows from the market structure. So whenever I had to place this long here, yes, I waited for the retest, and this is a retest on the outbreak. That same stop loss just isn't going to cut it right here because price has explored beyond that range. But here, that would have been a much better, tighter stop loss because if price broke out of here to the downside, we wouldn't want to be involved in it. Now we could still be in profits, or could have taken some profits and moved our stop loss up. A lot of different ways we could have worked this now. But even if we did see that breakout, since we know market structure and we're capable of identifying market structure, we could have seen, hey, we're riding this now, and this could have been our take profit goal. Or if we saw that it faced rejection from there after breaking other market structure that it had created, there are multiple reasons we could pull out from here because we identified this resistance zone. We saw it actually being rejected. So we wanted to see how this support line was played. We saw it be rejected. That could have been a TP signal right then and there. Didn't have to wait for any of this. So there's a lot of different ways this could have developed and why it's important to know, familiarize yourself with those patterns and market structure. That way you can identify what's going on and trade these breaks. So again, let me get some water. Because, bumping my gums is, I don't know, requires the oxygen. Niaz! What's up, bro? Welcome. Look, guys, Niaz has a cool, badass green name. Niaz has been a YouTube member for over 1 month and not a subscriber. Subscribers are fucking awesome. You guys are great. But he's been a YouTube member. My guy, I think it's real cheap. It's like $2.99. He's just showing a little bit of extra support for me. Niaz, is there any coins you want me to look at, brother? I'm taking altcoins from the audience, so let me know if you have an altcoin you want me to look at, Niaz. So far today, we looked at Litecoin, AVAX, Bitcoin. Someone asked me to look at something else. What did we start off with? Oh, XMR. I was looking at XMR. Yes, we did a couple altcoins already, Nias. Let me know if there's any altcoins you want me to take a look at. And it looks like Israel said, "What made you pick the name Deadly Crypto?" So, bro, on Xbox, for as long as I can remember, I was Deadly Panda. And I've just always been Deadly Panda. So, I was like, I was thinking one day of cool crypto names. I was like, I was thinking like, I was typing up what's available. I was like, Sergeant Crypto, and I was like, no, someone took it. And I was like, Captain Crypto, and I was like, and I was like, Crypto Kid, and I was like, Crypto Ninja. It's like all the fucking crypto names were taken, and I was like, why don't I just replace Panda with Crypto? Deadly Crypto. Fuck it. Looks good. It's my wallpaper now and everything. Let me see. Yeah, I love it. It was weird at first, and I thought I was gonna, Deadly Crypto, yeah, Deadly Crypto, but yeah, it's working. Gosh darn it, it's working. I like it. Johnny says Monero. Johnny, we already looked at Monero, bro. Oh, you were trying to remind me what else we looked at. Israel says lethal crypto. No, I wasn't trying to be like lethal or anything. It was just came from my Xbox gamer tag back in the day. Crypto might. Yeah, I thought about some kind of catchy crypto name, and I was like, I wanted to find something that someone might type in their search bar on accident, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just go with Deadly Crypto. Works better. Niaz, what happened, brother? Are you back watching? If no one else has any altcoin suggestions, I think my girlfriend might be on her lunch break, so I like to. If you're watching, hi, baby. If we got any more altcoins, I'm gonna take them. So don't think I'm trying to run away on you guys. I live with my girlfriend. She knows we're at work right now. We're trying to work right now. We're trying to work. No, guys, but if y'all have any other altcoins, let me know. We'll take a look at them. I'll give you a couple minutes to leave some suggestions. If not, we can just talk it out and say sayonara. Oh, fuck, man. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, I did that whole... I'm sorry. I was supposed to put myself... I do that too much. I need to double check that I'm back in the corner. When I came back, I sat myself down in front of the middle. Literally did all that fucking shit with my big head in the way. Sorry, man. I'm sorry my big old head was in the way. How disappointing. That is so disappointing. I'm sorry, guys. I need to pay more attention and make sure that I'm in the corner of the screen here. Corner of the screen here. And not over there in the middle of the screen. What I want to do one day is, how the weathermen stand right here and they point behind them. So, like, instead of me sitting here at the computer with the mouse, I want to be able to, like, point some stuff. Like, oh, here is we have downtrending momentum from this area coming in here. BSC Pad. That's what Niaz wants us to look at. Don says, Deadly Crypto's a great name. Thanks, brother. I think it's a great name, too. Niaz says, BSC Pad. So, Niaz is one of our supporters here. We'll take a look and see. Is that on... what's the ticker for that? Oh, yeah. Is this right? Is this it, Niaz? BSC Pad Tether? Gate? On Gate.io, it looks like it's the only place I'm getting information on. Whoa! We got some gaps here. We got some gaps. Whoa! Yes. Ooh, we gotta be careful with this one, bud. Ooh, we gotta be real careful here. Alright, Niaz, let's see what we can get into. I don't see any way to make use of that wick. This is definitely a downtrend, but this wick is broken. It's broken right there. So we're pretty much looking past this now. And if I expand this, even on the daily, man, this is looks like what? I want to see what the volume looks like on this. Wow. Okay. What happened here? Alright. Alright. Well, my dominating thought is be careful. We're not getting a lot of good market structure here. I'm seeing what I can find to zoom in. There's any dynamic sense. We'll look at horizontal support and resistance in just a moment. Let's see what we got here. There we go. So there's your wedge you're looking at. And as you're immediately playing this right here, it's a common common structure we've seen a lot in the market recently. Very common pattern to find. You know, you can look at all these patterns here on the chart, and you will find them in nature. Some of them more often than others. And it seems as though we found a lot of the market is just presenting this. So when the market presents something to you, you have to be able to understand how to see it and capitalize on it. That's what we're looking at in the immediate sense. I'll try and find some support and resistance range for you. Looks like we might get resistance here on this wick and this low, so I'll play that low and that wick there. So that would be a resistance range. What's the spread on this? Like, okay, that's not too terrible. For this type of asset, I mean, normally I don't like to play 40% spreads, but that looks about right with what we got going on here. And I think we'll make this one here too. Yeah, so whenever I get above here, we're going in and out, in and out. And there's no other downside I can play from. I'm not going to say it's impossible to explore the downside ranges. Like here, obviously we have this market structure creates very possible downside action for us. This shows sub 1 penny. I don't think that we're going to see price go into sub 1 penny, but here looks like at the end of the range, that's where price action could end up. So be very careful that this doesn't crash on you. And fuck, I'd be real careful with this. Here's your immediate range, Niaz, and don't be over bullish until you get over this line here. If you get in early, try and find your entry somewhere along this line, unless the asset comes to zero. And like I said, wait for that outbreak and retest, and then you're clear for takeoff. Yeah, so this one's a bit tricky, Niaz. You got me working really hard here. I hope you're very careful when you're trading this. Is your immediate 2 zones next to $1? I'll give you one more zone for when you get past that, based off of that wick and that wick right there. So we'll have one more zone for you in the ass. In here, I'll need you to play this line very carefully. So that could be a zone, but here's your upside ranging. I wouldn't really even be too confident getting to this one. Might get stopped up here or possibly here. Hope that was good enough for you, Niaz. That's about the best I can do, honestly, with what I'm looking at, brother. It just doesn't look. I don't know. It looks like Binance Smart Chain Pad tethered. I don't know what this asset is. I don't want to say it's a bad asset, but technically speaking, it's not very promising to invest your money in for the long run. Now we can certainly trade it. As traders, there's your market structure. There's your resistance and support. Be careful. Don't get too overinvested here. Yes, Niaz. It's ideal platform by Bluezilla. Niaz, I just did the BSC pad for you, bro. If you need a different asset, let me know. But I think that was the one that you were asking for. But I think scam coin. I don't know. I haven't read a white page. I don't know. I want to say BS pad is for Binance Smart Chain Pad, but I don't know. I haven't done any research on this asset. This is the first time I've seen this chart in my entire life. Yes, it says this is ideal platform by Bluezilla. There you go. What's your bottom prediction for Bitcoin? Israel, I talked about Bitcoin very, very in extreme detail at the beginning of this stream, but to answer your question briefly, somewhere between 8 to 12K. Yeah, I know, it's tough. Somewhere from 8 to 12K, I think we can see Bitcoin. But if you want an explanation as to why, just rewind the video a little bit, and you'll get an in-depth explanation as to why I think that. So what's up, my fellas? You know what time it is now. What am I gonna say next? $5 if someone can predict my next line in the comments. What's my next line? I know there's a little bit of latency, so I'll allow like 10 to 15 seconds. 10 seconds it'll be. 9, 8. And by the time you read this countdown, it'll have already been passed. But anyway, 7. No, man, I was going to say, I need a drink of water. Don't hop off yet, guys. I'm just going to say I need a drink of water. We can, we can part ways. I just don't want everyone to rush out of here. I wasn't trying to mop up with y'all. No. I was trying to see if anyone can guess right about me getting a drink of water. But yes, my fellas, alas, if no one has any further altcoin suggestions, next week, let me verify that real quick. I think next week we have Ask Me Anything scheduled already. I'm going to check that right now. Live scheduled. Yeah, Learn About Crypto, Ask Me Anything is scheduled for, oh boy, let me open up the share page. Share, get shareable link. Please open. Boom. Yeah, here we go. So here's our next event, fellas. You can ask your questions right here in the chat right now. You don't have to wait for it to start. And it's scheduled for July 8th. I believe this is, 1 p.m. So that's 18 UTC. We're going to be live 1 week, 18 UTC. Same time we started today. And that's our next event, guys. I'll set up some more after that as well so we can get some other market analysis, other things like that. Hope you guys enjoyed the session. This is the first time where we dedicated to just nothing but altcoin suggestions from the audience. I thought it would be good for growth, for retention. So there will be some similar streams like this in the future where I just do Bitcoin market breakdown and then take altcoin suggestions. So I'll title it up. You guys can see what we got coming. And if no one else has anything to say today, yes, Niaz says it's the same. Great. I was hoping that was the right one, Niaz, because you never know with these altcoins. Some of them, we have SHIB 100, Shiba Inu, Doge SHIB, SHIB Doge. What the fuck, man. I'm glad this was the right coin. Really glad. Johnny says, great stream. Thanks, buddy. See you on the next one. Don says, will some altcoins die when Bitcoin bottoms? Don, yes. We will see the death of some altcoins. There will not all of them will make it through the next to the next bull run. Not all of them will see their all-time highs again. So be careful in your altcoin selection. And Don K says, thanks, man. Well, all right, fellas. It's been a good one. I'll see you at the next one. Thanks, everyone, for coming.